In the glimmering world of showbiz, where charm, style, and poise are often worn like armor, it's easy to forget that behind the polished images lie human beings, flawed, emotional, and deeply vulnerable. But once in a while, that mask slips. And when it does, it reveals a story that no fan, no insider, and no camera was truly prepared for. This is the story of Dylan Wang, the celebrated actor adored for his confidence and charisma, and the moment he crumbled under the weight of his deepest fear. Don't forget to subscribe right now so you never miss another story that pulls back the curtain on the stars we thought we knew. It was never meant to happen. Not during a light-hearted variety show, not in front of cameras, not with the whole world watching. But sometimes, the heart doesn't wait for the perfect moment to speak. And when it did for Dylan, it left everyone stunned. Including Shen, who responded in a way that shocked fans across the world and changed everything they thought they knew about their bond. It had been years since Meteor Garden first aired, and Dylan Wang and Shen had since walked their own paths in the ever-demanding entertainment industry. But the chemistry they created on screen as Dao Ming-si and Dong Shan-kai had never faded from the minds, or hearts, of their fans. And even as the years passed, the question never disappeared: what was really going on between them? When they reunited on a popular talk show segment, it was supposed to be a nostalgic ride, a fun look back at their early days, filled with laughter, old stories, and maybe a few embarrassing moments from their rookie days. The set was vibrant, the energy light, and the games cheerful. But one unexpected question would pierce through the joy like a blade. What's your greatest fear? The host asked, turning to Dylan with a smile, clearly expecting a witty or humorous answer. Dylan smiled at first, brushing his hair back, as he always does when he's unsure. Fear, he repeated with a soft laugh. I guess, snakes? The audience chuckled. But the host pressed again, gently this time. No, something deeper. When you're alone. What scares you the most? Dylan paused. Something shifted in his expression. His gaze dropped slightly, and his lips parted as if he wanted to answer but couldn't find the words. Shen, seated beside him, turned slowly, eyes narrowing as she sensed the change. Dylan looked up, his eyes suddenly glistening, and what came next would stun everyone. I'm afraid of never being enough, he said. Of giving my best, and it still not being enough, for the people I care about. There was silence. Absolute silence. I've always acted tough, Dylan continued, voice trembling. I had to, from the start. I was thrown into this industry without really knowing how to protect myself emotionally. I had to learn to survive. To smile even when I was exhausted. To act confident when I was falling apart inside. And the fear that drives me, the one that keeps me up at night, is that I'll disappoint the people who believed in me. That I'll push them away. That they'll leave. And just like that, the tears came. He tried to hold them back. He wiped his eyes quickly, even laughed nervously, apologizing as if emotion were a crime. But the floodgate had already opened. Dylan Wang, the bold, cool, unshakable Dylan, was crying in front of everyone. Not because of failure, but because of the overwhelming fear of being left behind by those he loved. It was a moment of total vulnerability. Raw. Real. Painfully human. But what happened next was even more unforgettable. Shen didn't hesitate. She didn't wait for cues. Without saying a word, she reached out and grabbed his hand. The audience gasped softly. She didn't smile. She didn't try to cheer him up. Instead, she leaned closer, her voice low but firm. You've never been alone in this. Not then. Not now. Dylan looked at her, eyes wide with disbelief. For a second, you could see the years of shared history flash between them, early morning shoots, harsh criticism from the press, the pressure to be perfect, the quiet support they offered each other when no one else noticed. Then, Shen did something no one expected. She stood up, pulled Dylan to his feet, and wrapped her arms around him. Not a playful hug. Not a fan service moment. It was an embrace full of history, unspoken promises, and something much deeper than friendship. The crowd was stunned. The hosts didn't know what to say. The cameras kept rolling, but this wasn't for the cameras anymore. This was real life, unfiltered. In that hug, something shifted. For years, fans had speculated. Were they together? Were they just friends? Was it all acting? But that day, those labels didn't matter. What mattered was the undeniable truth of what they had, something that survived distance, fame, pressure, and time. Dylan later admitted in a rare interview, "I didn't expect to cry. I didn't even realize how much I was holding in until it all just came out. And the fact that Shen Yu, was the one who grounded me in that moment. I don't think I'll ever forget that." When Shen Yu was asked about it days later, she simply said, "Sometimes, people need someone to remind them they're allowed to feel. That they don't always have to carry everything alone." But this wasn't just about that one emotional moment. It was a culmination. For years, Dylan and Shen Yu had weathered harsh criticisms, people calling Shen Yu too ordinary, saying she didn't deserve to be his co-star. Others said Dylan was too stiff, too cold, not real enough. But through it all, they supported each other. Behind the scenes, there were countless moments that never made the headlines. Dylan bringing Shen Yu soup when she was sick during shooting, Shen Yu helping Dylan practice lines late at night, away from prying eyes. A staff member once revealed that during the Meteor Garden filming, Dylan refused to take breaks unless Shen Yu was allowed to rest too. He was protective, they said. But not in a romantic movie way. In a quiet, steady way. Their connection wasn't loud. It wasn't plastered all over social media. It was slow, private, and rooted in mutual understanding. That's what made the tears so shocking. Not that Dylan cried, but that he felt safe enough to do it there. With her. That he let his most fragile truth show, knowing that if anyone could catch him when he fell, it would be Shen Yu. Fans, already emotionally invested, exploded online. #Daishin trended for days. Comments poured in. He finally let go, and she was right there. I've always believed they had something real. This just proved it. Not every love story needs a confession. Sometimes, this is more powerful. But even as the internet buzzed with speculation, neither of them said another word about that moment. It wasn't a publicity stunt. It wasn't a promo trick. It was private, even if the world had seen it. And perhaps that's what made it so meaningful. In an industry where emotions are scripted and relationships are often marketed, this moment stood apart. It was messy, unexpected, honest. And it reminded everyone watching that sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who've learned to hide their fear behind smiles, and that it takes someone very special to draw those fears out and hold them gently. Whether Dylan and Shen Yu ever confirmed their relationship doesn't matter anymore. Because what we witnessed that day wasn't just a glimpse into their bond, it was a window into the real heart of two people who have carried each other quietly for years.